Obviously, it was a tough offense to face. What did you kind of see, and what did they do that was presented a challenge? And I guess getting those tight ends and stuff too was
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we knew going into the game, the tight ends, just watching their film and breaking it down, they're good players, productive, long, athletic, and handling them in the pass game was definitely going to be a challenge. But they did a real nice job creating some schemes for those guys, and obviously, at the end of the day, one of the things we come in here and we talk about all the time, and you guys ask about, is just simplifying and doing your job and playing with eye control. And you can obviously see what happens when the eye control isn't there. And so, first and foremost, that comes down to us and getting them ready. That's on me, making sure that these guys totally understand where their eyes are supposed to be, in all situations, which we'll make sure to do a good job and be better at that, moving forward.
How different was that? I mean, because coming into that game, you guys have allowed 144 receiving yards to tight ends all season, and then Hollister goes for 144 himself. So, I guess how different was that challenge for you guys and the backers or whatever?
You know what? I think a lot of it comes down to we're at the end of the season now. There's a lot of film out there. There's plays that people are grabbing from last year that people ran on us. So there's so much to cover that it comes down to focusing on your basic rules and executing your basic techniques. Because there's so much to cover right now that it simply comes down to your basic day one fundamentals. And when those go away, it doesn't matter who you're facing, what schemes you're seeing. When those basic fundamentals go away and you don't do a great job, and one of the things we talk about consistently is eye control. When you lose that, it wasn't a matter of new formations, and new plays, but it was a matter of execution.
Even though he's a true freshman, did you not having DeAndre in, did that make a difference? I mean, he's a guy that's been in a lot of different ways for you this season.
Yeah, you got to move some guys around a little bit there and shuffle some things around. And DeAndre's done, a solid job there. But I think at the end of the day, on the third downs, once again, it wasn't so much the coverage or his position by any means. It was more of a matter of execution. I mean, we didn't get very much pressure at all. If any, we had 0 sacks in that game. And defense always starts, especially on passing downs, with the pressure and how you're getting after the quarterback. We got to do a better job on mixed downs of keeping our guys fresh so that they're ready to roll when those what we call money downs, third downs come up. Guys aren't gassed, so we got to do a better job there with the front seven all together.
You guys got the one pick chance on the tip ball, and Ben and Sam were saying after the game that you guys did more last week in terms of trying to turnover drills and stuff than you'd done all season. I mean, at this point, do you just keep doing what you're doing and just hope they come? I mean, I know we ask you about it every week, but it's kind of the same deal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think part of it too is the more and more we address that, you're just pulling away from other things. You only get so much time out there to practice. So the more and more you spend on that, the less you're getting somewhere else. The less you get somewhere else, the less you're probably going to be prepared there, and then that's going to affect you as well. So it's a fine line of handling, And hey, here's the deal. At the end of the day, turnovers is one of the main 3 things that at the very beginning we set out and talked about. We're doing a lot of things really well. Right now, the turnover thing, it's been that way all season. So we need to get turnovers, we do. But guess what, too? At the end of the day, we still got to practice our other stuff, and it can't be all or nothing on these turnovers either. Our guys have done a hell of a job, played with great effort, and one of the most important things is that we continue to do that. And you stay persistent at whatever it is that you're doing, and eventually what you put into it, you'll get out of it.
I haven't really gone back and had a chance to look at this game yet, but do you guys play a lot of man, and in trying to force turnovers, how is it different playing man versus zone? Because in zone, you might be able to kind of keep your eyes moving forward a little bit versus man. You're running with guys and maybe more.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the amount of man we play is not that much compared, especially when you add in the first and second downs in there. It's not. We don't play a ton of man, So when it comes down to that, once again, I mean, if you go back through the season, we've had our hands on balls plenty of times, and we got to finish. And when you finish, that creates confidence. When a guy's finishing on the ball and we're getting interceptions, and that becomes contagious, and we haven't been able to get that rolling. And the day, that's the bottom line.
What did they do offensively, and how would you rate Potter? What kind of quarterback is he?
He's similar to the guy we just saw, you know, and he's a good passer. He is, and that's one thing when you start to talk about some of these guys we're facing right now, and you say, you know, a guy's mobile and he could extend plays, and especially in the passing game with his legs, we're not taking and discrediting anything away from his ability to pass, because just like last week, you know, Potter's very capable of throwing the ball, and he's proven that. Very athletic. Obviously, there's going to be some quarterback design runs in there that we'll have to be ready for, and then, you know, the more pro style when he's underneath center.